Friends, hello, good evening, how are you? I hope you are well. I wasn't even going to make a video, but everyone keeps commenting for updates and what's going on, and I thought, hey, let's stay connected and talk. But forgive me, I'm a bit dirty, and I am drinking out of my wife's coffee cup. I've been working in my garden, trying to get ready for this year. But let's talk about the market today. Honestly, it was a huge sell-off today, obviously. I'm sure most of you know, but thank God. I have been waiting for a day where things are just going to finally sell off. Because I mentioned a few videos back where I was like, I'm trying to put some money in places where, it's like for the cheap almost. And today was cheaper, but it wasn't like cheap. So let's go over some stocks right now that I've been talking about and that are I think are probably going to rule the year here with movement. So obviously, I don't want to talk about this too much because I've just made a video yesterday about it. But DWAC, obviously, it fell today with the sell-off. I say it fell, but it's still at a $45 range. And with that too, the deal, as far as we know, is still on the table. It is happening. Everything is set to go as planned here in March, where Digital World Acquisition and True Social will merge together finally, where we will see True Social on the NASDAQ. So I'm expecting Digital World Acquisition to keep growing here, and we're still not hitting 30, which is very interesting. We're still not hitting $30, even with a huge, massive sell-off day today. Still, it's holding this $40 range. Now, tomorrow might be a different deal. I suspect the market will come back a little bit tomorrow, rebound. I'm not expecting anything huge, but I honestly wish it was going to be another bloodbath. I'm like, there's just things that I know there's things right now that I'm going to overpay for. But it's kind of like, maybe I should just bite the bullet. This has kind of been my argument lately. It's like, every time you listen to these analysts, these economists, they keep saying they expect the market to have a huge pullback, but we're not really seeing a huge pullback. We had a pullback today, but it wasn't like huge. I mean, it wasn't like threatening people's livelihood. It was just a nice little pullback. But is there going to be a big one? I don't know. The market's doing great. I mean, the market is doing great. And I don't know that people want to admit that, but it really is, which is great. But it's like, man, it's like you just got to bite the bullet and buy things right now. And DWC, like I said, don't want to talk too much about that. But yes, I'm still in that. Yes, I like it. And I think there's a lot more to come. And I think we're just in the baby stages of it really getting out of control. So, listen, I don't think there's not a lot of sell-off with it. That's the thing. People are not really getting rid of their shares. I think a lot of people thought it was going to be back in the $20 range by now. It is not, and I don't think it's going back anytime soon. The rest of this year, I don't think we'll see it at $20 unless something terrible were to happen. So going right, let's talk about Rumble. Rumble, yes, still in Rumble. I like Rumble. I actually made a Rumble account here. I'm dealing with money, so I'm on there if you want to check me out. I am still figuring out Rumble. It is very different than YouTube, so bear with me. Talking about Rumble, the actual stock, it's sitting at the $7 mark here, and I think that's great. I love where it's at right now because it doesn't have to be. That's the whole thing. It survived this pullback today. We hit $6. We went back to $6 today for a small moment, but then we ended the day at $7. So today, that was a telltale sign that this thing is doing really, really good. It's got a really strong pillar on it right now where it's holding strong. The fact that it didn't go back to $5 a day, it didn't go to $4. It's holding right here at the $7. So I think we know this is the bottom right here. This, high $6, in this low $7. This is probably the bottom right here. So that's a really good sign for that today. And just like DWAC, I think we saw the bottom with everything today, unless the market were to tank again tomorrow. But there's really no reason for it to tank again. There's nothing on the horizon as I'm making this video, but of course that could change any moment with how things work here right now in the good old USFA. So Rumble, yes, I still like Rumble. I put money in that a while ago, but I would not buy any more Rumble above $10. So I think 10 and under, safe. If you're in it for the long term, I know a lot, it's a very mixed crowd on here with people who are short-term gains, buy, sell. Totally get it, that's fine. But I do think Rumble, at the same time, is going to follow Digital World, soon to be True Social, here soon, because yes, True Social and Rumble, they're very much working together. They're, you know, if you're on Rumble, it is a very, I say, not mixed crowd. It is very more to the right, to the Trump nation, and they do work together, these two entities. So, I mean, you know, if you're an investor, this is great. You know, you want them to both do good. This is going to be a big year for Rumble, and it's going to be a big year for True Social. And I say that, I say that freely on here right now in confidence, especially this deep into the video, because, you know, obviously me talking about these stocks and just talking about Trump things, people come on here and just want to rip me apart. And I get it. I get people don't like Trump. That's fine. I'm not trying to talk about the politics. I'm just trying to talk about the stock. But I do think that obviously we pretty much know at this point that it's going to be Trump and Biden running. I think Trump is going to announce here pretty soon, once we get a few more of these primaries and caucuses wrapped up, who his running mate is. We kind of thought he was going to do it by now, but he hasn't. There's a lot of meat left on the bone here with Rumble and Digital World Acquisition. I think they're going to run together pretty heavy this year. But Rumble, I got to admit, I'm more of a fan of than True Social, just because Rumble is a lot more stable of a company right now. It's actually, Rumble was something I was looking at investing in months ago before a lot of this started to happen, because they were starting to really get straight on their balance sheets, you know, cash on hand, you know, things you want to see for a company that you're wanting to invest in long term. And Rumble was showing a lot of signs like that. So, and there's always a competitor or something. YouTube has to have a competitor, and the competitor, what we see with a lot of things, will always grow up slowly and potentially become bigger than, you know, their competitor. Like, you know, so Rumble could be the size of YouTube 5-10 years from now. So obviously I realize what I'm saying right now. This is a far, you know, stretch we're wanting here as investors. But obviously Rumble has its priorities and what it stands for. So with this free speech, you know, talk going on, this is getting a lot thicker here, and people are looking for more free speech. And Rumble too, as a content creator, it is easier, and you don't have to worry as much when you upload things on there. Right now, there's still things I cannot talk about on this platform right now. I mean, there's words, there's keywords, there's things you just cannot say, and you will pay the price for it. So I like Rumble all around. I like Rumble, and I'm glad to invest in it. And obviously, I'm strongly rooting for their future. So, all right, that's enough about Rumble. I didn't even mean to talk about Rumble that much. I really didn't. Fubo is a stock that I have put some ching-chang in here. Their quarterlies will be coming out the first week of March here, so that's about a week out from now. Yeah, a week out, 2 weeks out, but we are expecting quarterlies to be good with this company. Their last two have been good. So really what I'm more interested in, I'm interested in this company, this stock, for the long run. But with that too, there is a lot going on right now with how Disney, Fox, all that is handling their whole sports package. Obviously, I think most of you know, if you know about this company, the stock dropped dramatically a week or two ago when Disney and Fox came out and said, hey, we're going to work together and we're going to put out the ultimate sport package for affordable prices to the common person. Well, they haven't really hashed out how they're going to do that, and legally, if they even can, because you can't really put a monopoly on something like that. It would not be, you just can't do it. It's not regulated like that. You just can't do it. And that is the bread and butter right now of Fubo, their sports package, their affordable sport package that is pretty decent, pretty big if you're into sports. So, you know, I'm not saying this is going to be the next Netflix. I'm just saying this is something that is beating out a lot of its competitors right now when it comes to a lot of these TV streaming services. You know, I think Sling is kind of on the down trajectory here, which is kind of crazy to think of. You know, Sling's been around for a long time, but they're kind of just, they're just falling apart. I think that they're just disappearing slowly. So it's always good to look. It's kind of like the Rumble thing. You always want to be looking at what companies are doing to really set themselves apart from what was. And I think this is it's a risky investment, obviously, but it's something young, and it's I don't think it's going to be the next Netflix, but it could be a nice competitor to a lot of these streaming services, and that's really what we're trying to see here with what's going to happen with it. So the last stock I'll talk about is Shopify. I've mentioned Shopify a few times, but people always ask me, what I invest in. And Shopify is one of those stocks where people ask me like, what should I put $5-10 in, just to slowly build up in the, something, just put my money into a stock, a company that's going to bring in revenue over the next year or two that I can trust and not, get me in the hole. Shopify is always one of those stocks I take people to. They just had their fourth quarterly wrapping up 2023 and they killed it, man. It's just a company that's growing dramatically. They're really how I think of them, obviously, is like, think back, if you're old enough, 10, 15 years ago, when people were like, what is this Amazon thing I keep hearing about? That's kind of how Shopify is right now. A lot of people know about it and they have a huge platform, but they're growing each year, and like anything else, Amazon has a competitor, and it more likely is going to be more and more so Shopify here. So Shopify, check them out. Maybe I'll make a standalone video with them. I don't know. There's already a lot of people that talk about them, I feel like, on YouTube, so I don't want to I don't know. There's people that have done better research than I'm giving you right now. I'm just telling you, like, this is something that I kind of just use it as a savings account. I'm like, hey, I've got a few extra bucks here and there, and I just put it in either Tesla or Shopify. But Shopify is still very young, I feel like, and it could bring you a lot more down the pipeline with what's coming with it. So friends, I'm going to stop yapping. I will be back tomorrow with a better video. Like I said, I wasn't even planning on making a video tonight, but so I've got like comment after comment after comment. So I was like, okay. I was out in the garden. I was working. I was trying to get my garden. I'm a big gardener. I was trying to get ready for this coming year. So, anyway, take care. I will see you tomorrow. Man, let's see what happens. I'm kind of hoping for more of a bloodbath tomorrow. I hope the market keeps going down. I hope it keeps falling. That would be great, because we know there's better things coming this year, but it's like some things are a little overpriced right now. I feel like I want to get into them. Friends, take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.